Hello, hashtag here. Um, don't normally do this. I usually just talk about something specific in training or something like that. Um, but I'm actually going to talk about my experience in the Nottingham Outlaw half aqua bike because I think it might be relevant. It might be relevant to some of you who are actually competing or thinking about competing. Leading up to the event, take a step back. I've actually done the event twice before. Once I've done it as an aqua bike, I suppose. I did the swim and the bike, and then I handed over the baton to my wife, who did the half marathon for me. The second time I did it as a relay. I just did the bike. But this time, Nottingham or Outlaw have just put up the aqua bike as an option. They started last year. I'd already been in for the relay, so I thought, well, I'll try it this year. In fairness, I've fallen out of love with swimming. To prove that, I went to Mallorca in April and took my wetsuit with me for all the best intentions of going for a swim. And I didn't. The wetsuit was not wet for the whole time I was out there. And I was pretty cheesed off with actually staring at the bottom of a pool 3 times a week over the winter time. So really fallen out of love. So as far as my swim was concerned, I wasn't looking forward to it. It was a matter of just getting through it and getting onto the bike and then maybe having a little bit of fun then. In recent weeks, a local lake, Fritton Lake, has just opened up after a 7-year hiatus. So my wife said, why don't we go down there and have a look? So we went down there on a Saturday morning immediately after parkrun. I did 2 laps and loved it. So yeah, kind of getting my mojo back. Maybe not with a pool, maybe not with sea swimming, but definitely with lake swimming. So we'll probably make a habit of that. So I've actually swam open water twice, which is a lot more than some people who actually started Outlaw on Sunday. So leading to the event, we stopped the night, well, on the day we got there. I'd already done my openers, or already done my routine because we stopped in Cambridge the night before. So I went up the busway towards Huntingdon, about half an hour in, turned around and came back. So that was pretty cool. Not many people on there, no cars, thankfully. A few cyclists and a few runners, and people walking their dogs as you would expect on the pedestrian pathway. Like I said, we then went to Nottingham. Basically got to the home pier point, the water sports centre, which is where it all happens. We knew what we were doing because obviously we'd been there before. Straight into registration, straight and got my bike racked. Forget about the bike. Job done. Met up with a few hashtag athletes, which is great. Met Neil, who was doing the 70.3, the full triathlon. Then met Abby, who was doing the aqua bike, and Claire, who was traveling with us. And obviously, we all kind of got together, got the ceremonial photographs with the hashtag t-shirts on, and then went to the race briefing. Ian had just had the organizer just had an operation with his back, so he was there, but then pressed play on a video, and we all sat there and watched the video, and then he answered questions after the 30-minute video. Normally we'd do it face to face, but I appreciate that standing up for 30 minutes probably wouldn't be good on his back, especially over this weekend where he's going to be a lot more active than probably he needs to be. So we're there. We stayed at a place called Gamston Lodge, which is literally on the other side of the entrance to the water sports centre. So literally we could have walked there if we needed to. But we were up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and up about 4:45, I think, we made our way to the start line, or to transition, to fill up our bikes with hydration and nutrition and spares and pump the tyres up. Now, here's the thing. Abby, who was one of our competitors, she had a problem with her valve on the morning. And we were trying to find a track pump that would fit the valve. And the valve core blew out. So we were busy trying to repair that. We got the tyre pumped up eventually using, I think it was the third track pump eventually. Now, Abby, unfortunately, did a DNF because the moment she actually got on her bike, the tyre valve blew out again. And even the organisation's mechanics couldn't do anything to actually rectify it. So she actually did 300 metres, if that, of the bike leg, and that was it. So that's learnings, I suppose, to tinker with your bikes and make sure you've got the right track pump, got your own track pump, which you know works, and maybe pump the tyres up the day before, and leave the bike well alone. No tinkering on the day. Okay. So that's disappointing. Anyway, back to the beginning. So no real plans to swim fast, bike fast. It was all low key, no expectations. So just got in the water. You should have seen me. I went past the timing mat. I sat on the pontoon and I just dropped in the water. Everybody else was diving in, jumping in, those few seconds, and I was just started like we were at our local lake with friends midweek. It was just, I was so relaxed. Just got swimming. About 20 minutes in, felt quite dizzy, ended up being sick in the water, treaded water for about 10 seconds to kind of stop feeling sick, and then just cracked on and thought, well, hopefully I'll be better by the time I get out of the water. I think the swim exit photographs, the official photographs, weren't great, so I won't be buying those. And I got out to the water, and untraditionally of Nottingham, it was freezing cold. Usually we have sunshine, but we had sunshine later on in the day, but just not when we came out of the water. So I was thinking to myself, I hope I warm up. So for the first time, I didn't use my crutch to get from swim exit to the bike. I actually used my own 2 feet, which I thought might save me time, and I think it did. I think it was about 2 minutes by the time I'd got to the bike and got out of transition. I think it was 5 minutes overall, because Nottingham transition is quite a long way. Once on the bike, again, no expectations. I started the swim actually at the back of my wave. I wasn't going to get involved in the fist fighting. It was a time trial anyway, so there was no pressure to be at the front at the pointy end of the race. If it was gun time, perhaps, but I wasn't interested. So I got in whenever I felt like it. So the bike, I had quite a few people ahead of me. By the time I actually came out to swim, I think I had about 40 minutes worth of competitors in front of me. So one by one, started picking them off, which is always good fun. You're in that slipstream, I suppose, limited slipstream for about 10 seconds as you pass them. One person came past me in the first 3 or 4 miles. I didn't bite, which is very rare because usually I do bite, and then I destroy my pace plan in the past 2 years. Although I've gone quite quick, I think it was 2:24, and then last year was 2:19, which is still pretty rapid. But I stuck to my own pace plan and didn't really have any expectations. Lo and behold, 20 minutes later, I caught him, went past him, and didn't see him again until transition T2 actually. And one by one, I was picking riders off, and I was getting towards the pointy end of the race because less and less people were in the distance in front of me. So I knew I was getting to the pointy end. I did my nutrition exactly what I was supposed to do every 20 minutes. I was drinking, not as much. I did empty a whole bottle. I only had 2 500ml bottles on the bike, and I did empty 1 whole bottle when I actually finished. So noted, I need to drink more. Could have gone faster. So came in, dismounted horrifically, as I always do, and then quickly got over the chip line. Job done. For aqua bikes, that's it. Then found out about Abby and her bike faux pas, if you call it. I was going to wait for Claire, but as it was still cold, I decided to quickly put my trainers on and walk through to the finish line to get my finish line experience, get my medal, get my t-shirt, get my picture taken with the Erdinger alcohol fry, and have some food. So I did that, and then we got Claire coming into the finish line. So hello, and then Neil came in, and we were egging him on every lap on the run. And then Neil came in to the finish. Neil, 30 minutes PB. That's a long way when it comes to triathlon. 70.3, 30 minutes is a huge amount of time. And Claire took 15 minutes off her aqua bike, swim bike. She was actually quite poorly as well in the water, so maybe there's something in the water, who knew. So if she wasn't as ill, she would have PB'd her swim time and her bike time. But as it was, she equalled her Holcomb swim time, even with a few moments of treading water. So that's a good thing, I suppose. And her bike was 15 minutes quicker. So 15 minutes improvement on the bike. So mixed bag. To be honest, again, like I said, I wasn't expecting anything. And then I was told I actually got 4th overall in the males or open category. And I won my age group. And I won my age group by 2 minutes, I believe. The guy who was second, he beat my swim by about 4 minutes, but I beat him by about 6 minutes on the bike. No, 8 minutes on the bike, because my transition was 2 minutes slower than him. So, yeah, considering, didn't expect that. So pretty chuffed, to be honest. Pretty happy about that. Considering that when I won in Almere, Challenge Almere last September, I'd really trained for it, hyper focused on it. My diet was on point for about 8 weeks, and I lost loads of weight. I'd actually lost nearly a stone lighter than I am now, so I wasn't actually having any major expectations. But yeah, I won it. Typically me, never happy with my performance. Could have swum better, could have trained more, could have got that wetsuit wet in Mallorca. Perhaps I would have been faster. Who knows? But as it turned out, it was an okay race. Power was on point. Probably could have gone a little bit harder, but didn't drink enough. So there you go. So a win's a win, I suppose. I need to take it. A bittersweet weekend, obviously, with Abby's DNF and with everybody else's celebrations. So, yeah, from a coach perspective, it's quite hard to manage one and to celebrate the other. But we learn. And all I can think is the silver lining that Abby did a 4-minute PB swim. So that's a positive that we pulled from that. And it wasn't the main event. We've still got Challenger off coming up 6 weeks time. So yeah, that's it. Like I say, it's not normally this long. It's not normally. I usually talk about training, so we just talk about the races. If anybody can relate, like it. DM me if you've got any questions about prep, about race plans, nutrition, how to do it as opposed to how I did it. DM me. That's it. Ciao for now. Crack on.